Hello, welcome to Andertons TV, and today is all about the bass. I am Ollie.
I'm Lee.
I'm Cici.
And what I'm commentating on today with our two talented people, we're talking about scale lengths. Scale lengths on bass. We're going to clear up any questions you may have. Maybe you're new to bass, maybe you're looking at all these different sizes going, what's going on? Isn't there just a bass? We're going to help you with that today. We're going to go through all these wonderful sizes and walk you through. So what do we mean by scale length, Lee?
Well, it is the length of the scale, the scale of your fretboard. Technically, really between the bridge, right? Bridge and nut, that is the full scale, but obviously when you're playing, you're actually playing on here, which is the bit that gets affected by said scale length.
Cici and Lee, they have two different scale length basses. Now, these are both full-size basses, but if you'd be so kind as to hold them up for us, if I get the nuts in line, you will see that the bass on my right, your left on screen, is about 4 inches shorter. Now, it's still a full-size bass, but the scale length is shorter. Now, that doesn't mean that we've got less frets, these metal things that mean you can play notes. It just means the frets are closer together. And that means that it can be a bit easier to play. Maybe it could be a little bit harder to play. Maybe your fingers might get muddled. We will show you how that affects your playing from Cici, our wonderful, talented player, here now. So, as ably demonstrated there, you can see that your hand kind of has a bit less to deal with in terms of distance. Some people might like that, some people might not like that. I myself have got quite fat fingers, so slightly shorter scale lengths can be a little bit muddly, especially if I'm up in the top end there. I mean, what was your experience with shorter scale basses and longer scale basses when you were getting going?
Well, I actually started on a full 34-inch scale bass. For me, now picking up a short scale is a bit of a weird thing because all my muscle memory is so trained to full scale bass.
34-inch, yeah.
It's a bit of an experience, but I really like it. It's nice to have a bit more of a relaxed hand when you play them, and I do like the amount of movement you get in the strings, which is nice if you want to.
We will touch on that later with regards to what that's referring to with the string tension, but the scale length affects it. But yeah, it is comfortable. It's nice to just have an easy day sometimes.
It is, yeah. I mean, they're comfortable. It doesn't feel like I'm playing something that's not a real instrument. It's just different.
That's a huge thing. Is nothing we're showing today is a toy or like not an instrument. These are really well crafted instruments from around the world. And as I was saying earlier, this is still a full size bass. So even if you are younger and you're looking for something that you might not want to upgrade from, we do have a 3/4 size bass here, which will sort of explain the differences too. This is still something perfectly applicable, which grown-ups like us would still play and find comfortable. In fact, let's go through those actually at the moment. So to the extreme right there, we have my extreme right, your extreme left, we have the shortest scale bass, appropriately in red. So this is a Squire Mini. The Squire here is a 3/4 size scale bass with a scale length of 28.6 inches, which is 3/4 as long as a long scale bass that Lee may be holding there, or is holding. I do trust my senses, which is 34 inches. This is something which you might want to look at if you're younger, wanting to get into bass. Usually, I think 3/4 size, we normally in the store recommend between the ages of 8 to maybe 11. I mean, children are all different sizes, which is really, really annoying.
You annoying kids.
I mean,
no, but that absolutely that is the only moment if you've got that real youngster like that really wants to play bass, and you've only got 34-inch. It's just going to be impossible. It's going to put them off straight away. It's going to be too much of a stretch.
Do you find that with a fair few of your students who aren't aware of scale length?
Totally. And actually, talking about one of my students is a full into the short scale thing now, and has felt the difference that it makes to him, and fully grown adult, older than myself, but loving that extra feel. The extra tension, like you were saying as well. You don't have to work as hard. Just with your little bit of stretching because it's a bit of a workout anyway, which we'll probably get onto. But
Yeah.
it's but totally, yeah, absolutely. And but that is for older students and the younger students that are really, really keen to get into bass, but they can't physically hold one of these. You know, so.
At first, if you've got
At
some growing
first.
to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Then we have the short scale basses, which are 30 inches. There's a couple here which we can show. There's a wonderful new East Coast one that Cici has ably demonstrated. There's quite a classic from Squire called the Bronco, which is slimmed down. It's a nice new colour, isn't it? It's nice. They both are actually very handsome basses.
I like them both.
That East Coast is lovely. Proper thumb rest as well. I like it.
Yes, a thumb rest in the position that you'd actually want a thumb rest. Really cool looking basses. So it's not as if you're going to be skimping or have to compromise on how cool you're going to look in your bedroom or on stage when you play those early concerts. Moving on from that, from 30 inches. Now, there is the 32-inch scale length or the medium scale length. Now, this is a little less common, but I found really, really useful. So my niece was getting going with bass. I'm not going to name them so I don't embarrass them. When she was about 15, 16, not entirely dissimilar size to yourself, but she picked up the 30-inch scale length and felt it was a little bit toyish for her. Having the stretch on the hands when you're first going can be a bit difficult. And that's a big thing to remember with bass. It's a more physical instrument. It's definitely a more physical instrument than guitar. And getting things wrong can, not always, but can, with repetitive strains, kind of give some issues down the line. They can do. Yeah. So getting something comfortable is always worth it. It's never worth being uncomfortable if you're playing it every day, as you should be. So the 32 inches was a really, really good compromise for her. So it's still got a fair amount of tension on the strings, but 2 inches less on scale length means it's just that little bit easier to get your stretches in, get your full scales in if you've got slightly smaller hands. I like it because it's still got the power of a longer scale bass with nice taut strings. Again, I just like days off.
Yeah, that's it.
I like days off.
Make it as easy as possible. This is
Why
it,
not?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then, as ably demonstrated by Lee, we have the 34-inch scale length, sometimes referred to as long scale length. You may see that. Anything longer than this, we won't cover today. It might be something like a multi-scale, but that might be considered extra long or super long scale length if it's above 34 inches. This scale length by far is the most popular, or the most common that you'll find on basses. So I'd wager at least, 85% of basses out there?
Maybe more.
90% will be that scale length. So if it doesn't talk about a scale length, you can probably bet it's going to be this length.
Yeah.
Depending on your hands, you probably want to be looking into, maybe if you're in your mid-teens or late teens. But how old were you when you started?
Well, I was 11 and I wasn't any bigger then than I am now, and I'm 4'11". But I am double jointed, so I had a bit of a...
You got the superpowers.
Yeah.
If you're normally abled, like many of us, and don't have the superpowers and won't get a call from Patrick Stewart later down the line, you may want to have a look at some shorter scale lengths, but it's what's comfortable for you. Well, you're very ably gifted in the finger length department there, Lee.
Thanks.
No, you're welcome. And but you might still enjoy a short scale length every now and then.
Absolutely. My experience has been here in this room when there's been some either being released or we're doing these sort of videos. But always, there's never a this is weird, this feels alien. You know, at this point, I think I started on a longer scale, but I was at the same. I haven't changed too much since I was 11 as well. I was always lanky like this.
Oh my God.
And so this was, I didn't really need to go any
You were that big
shorter.
as a child?
Pretty much. I was under 6 foot. I'm just over now. Always long scale, but my experience is actually either helping students find their perfect bass with my guys one-on-one in a shop, just be like, right, try that. And you can normally see it in people's faces. That's the one. That's the one that feels real to me, and I can just ignore what I'm doing now and just have fun, you know. But it's been fascinating to me over the years, all the different sort scales that we play with and the different tones you can come out with as well, just different pickups, different body sizes as well, even though this is changing a bit, but thickness, or if you've got hollow bodies, there's all the options out there if you want to get involved. But
absolutely. I mean, that's a point I'll just pick up on. There are short scale basses out there with bigger bodies. So if you do like the short scale feel, but perhaps you're a slightly larger person, maybe larger than you should be, like me, then there are comfortable things out there for you. You don't have to have something small. And likewise, there are very slim bodied long scale basses. I mean, companies like Warwick, Ibanez, we don't have any of those here, but
I think that's what got me, is because I started on the sound gears. So for me, they're quite dainty and I still love them.
So I think the overall message is get down to a shop if you can. If that local shop is Andertons, please do come down and ask to try some different scale lengths. Yeah, see what's comfortable for you. It needs to be right for you is the main thing when getting started or learning about scale length. So the final thing we'll just touch on is tension, or when we're talking about the strings. We've been mentioning in this having a feel under the fingers, because bass is more physical.
It definitely feels like an extension of you. I know that's like a really cliche thing to say, but when you're playing, you are, especially if you're playing fingerstyle, you're physically hitting the instrument depending on what you're playing.
And it's a big string.
Yeah.
It takes effort to move that string.
I mean, like, the size of that string as opposed to my finger is kind of sums it up, really.
Totally.
When we extend the scale length, everything staying the same, so we've got the same bass tuning, we've got the same thickness of strings, which is also important. There is less tension, i.e. I can move the string easier on the shorter scale bass versus the longer scale bass. That translates to a slightly more punchy, more focused sound for the longer scale basses, and I'd say a slightly more
open,
boomy, open sound.
It's quite a warm sound, isn't it?
Yeah, and we will show you with Lee's massively fantastic chops on a couple of these scale lengths now. On a couple of these scale lengths now for you to take a listen to the tension in the strings and the different things that he's playing. Thank you very much, Mr. Lee.
It's all right, my pleasure.
And obviously, if there's certain sounds you've just heard, but you've got a slightly shorter scale length bass, you can change the strings. This is the big thing with shorter scale and longer scale basses, where we can get thicker, thinner strings.
I mean, I'd probably say, start there before you think, if you've even got that you're close to that tone, you think, oh no, I love that, and the feel is good. It's what, 30 quid? It's not going to be a lot of money just to experiment a little bit with, what does that do,
Certainly less money than a bass.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would be very, very interested, because we've always just done stock basses with the stock strings on them, out the box, as it were. But yeah, putting like extra high tension strings on a short scale, for example, you might get that, and you probably will get that extra attack, and you should do with that extra tension. So,
or similarly, if you like the longer scale length and you just want an easy night, 35 to 95 gauge strings.
Yeah, treat yourself.
But treat yourself. It's like they're paying you to do nothing. But thank you very much for watching. The main thing, try these things. Get into shops, try them, see what's right for you. Even if you're smaller and you like the longer scale stuff, you can still be incredibly talented. And even if you're larger and you like the shorter scale stuff, that's absolutely fine. Learn what you learn on, get playing the bass. Come into Andertons if you're nearby, and check out these East Coast and some of the Squires behind us as well. And thank you very much for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please do like and subscribe. We're giving away pedals. And if you're just getting started on your bass journey, we've got loads of videos that we've done for you to check out. Thank you.
Ta-ta.